You are now listening to the Tucker's Daily Podcast with your hosts, LJ and Tiffany Tucker, a house that is united unless we're talking football.
Yo. And we're back.
We are back.
Back with another episode.
Yes, we are. And it was a good week, huh?
It was a good week. I'm going to pop this one off. I'm going to go ahead and start off by saying...
Do a little Bronco dance.
Well,
get a little Bronco dance.
Get a little Bronco dance. Yeah, my little Bronco dance. You know, we did it. And we're going to talk about it, but we're going to get to that. I want to hit that one at last.
You guys been on the streak.
We're going to talk about that.
Okay. We're going to wait.
Let's address the elephant in the room. My queen here.
This is not an elephant. We already knew what was going to happen. We knew what was going to happen. Y'all knew what was going to happen.
I'm trying to give you some credit.
Okay.
And trying to boost you real quick. Don't let me pop the balloon of that head of yours. But anyway, the wife of mine has took the lead.
Come on, let her know.
She took the lead. She had a good weekend. I'm not mad because my Broncos did win.
8 wins total.
She had 8 wins to my 4.
Yep, which means, and he was up 2
I was
above
already up
me.
2.
So that means now I'm up 2.
Now she's up 2. She
Good
has
week for me.
reclaimed the throne.
Good week for me.
And
but it's just 2. So
if you would have saw
that's
her
easy.
face, she was happy.
But it's just 2. So you know that's easy to overcome. Because
That's
he was
true.
up 2 and I just overcame that.
That's
so
true.
it's like, I'm up. I'm back in the leader's seat. But I do feel like it's still anyone's game. You know,
that's the joys of this, doing this week to week because like they say, any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Like any given Sunday.
And one thing we need to start thinking about is the grand poofda, like the last bet. Like, what are we doing all this for with whoever has the winning record? Like, what the huge bet? So we don't know yet.
We'll reveal that.
Think about that.
We'll reveal that later.
Yeah,
but
it
will be something.
It's neck and neck.
Neck and neck.
It's a tie game.
We've been going back and forth. I had to come out the mud. Thought I had something going. And look, I'm back.
I think I've always been pretty steady.
She has. I give her credit.
I haven't had to come out the mud, so to speak. I haven't lost that bad, But hey, it's the Bronco way. Ooh. Anywho, just kidding.
You look at my closet, I have a lot of bulletproof vests because she throws.
Oh my goodness! All right, well let's get into this recap.
Let's get into these games.
Okay,
so go ahead
first
and start
game
it off
was in London, right?
Yes.
The Colts versus New England Patriots.
So she won that game.
Mm-hmm. So I picked the Colts.
Just judging from the score, I'm honestly I didn't catch everything of that game, but judging from the score, seemed like it wasn't the best of games. You know, I think it was 10-6. Awkward score. I think Patriots in it are more of a rebuild. I think I don't want to say they're tanking, but I feel like they need to change.
Yeah.
They need to change. And as we know, they gave Belichick that extension. So he's not to change. But I do think some drastic things are going to happen with that team. I do think the defense is solid, solid enough where they don't have that many pieces to address on defense, but I think the offense need to be addressed.
Yeah. And I think, quarterback, y'all need to get
it's Mac Jones
something
the future,
in there for a running back.
Yeah.
Not too, So, and then Colts, you guys need Richardson. You kind of know what you're doing.
True.
I mean, Richardson's out, so you basically just coasting and seeing what can happen now.
Yeah.
But Minshew is not it.
He's not it, but I will give him the credit. He's a solid backup. I think
I don't know. I mean, yes,
I call him
guess
solid because he's a backup quarterback.
But he always throwing interceptions. I'm not a believer that one interception a game is good. I don't want an interception.
That's true. That is true.
If you are a consistent interception thrower every game, even if it's just one,
that is true.
I don't like that.
But the thing about NFL and you think about critics and everything, if he does throw one interception a game, but he gives you 2, 3 touchdowns in a W, it gets overlooked.
Yes.
It gets overlooked.
But when you don't do that, it don't get overlooked. Okay. So
and they just happen to play the Patriots. I'm not a strong team. So
and it's funny you should say that because RG3 made a good point recently about we should give the same type of fire to Josh Allen when he throw interceptions like you do Dak.
Yeah.
And I think what you're saying also is that, well, I guess it doesn't apply to that one because Dak, they're in the same boat. Because Allen is not throwing 3 or 4 touchdowns either. So
he's not.
I don't know. And it is pretty striking as many interceptions he's having. This is actually kind of
it's
bad.
actually I think it's something deeper. I think we'll.
What did I say at the beginning of the season about the Buffalo Bills? Do you remember?
I'm not. I don't know verbatim. Oh, so enlighten the audience of what you said. This is
not going to be the year for them. The problems they have off the field is going to show on the field.
You did say that.
And it's not going to be chemistry. I think they've done a really good job trying to mask it, right? They've kept it out.
They are the best team at masking it.
They kept it out the media.
Yeah.
But when this is how you know a team is masking the problems of internal problems. Because as soon as it gets too bad, everybody starts flying at the mouth about what's going on.
And they point fingers.
The same thing happened with Raiders.
They point fingers.
So don't be fooled because you haven't heard much.
It's coming.
But it's coming. It's about to come out. Diggs probably not going to say he haven't been happy, never was happy. This stuff about to come out because they don't. They're not, internally they have a lot of issues. So
we gonna unbutton them.
I know. So
we
kind of skip that, but we'll get to that.
We're gonna get to them.
All right. Next game.
Shout out to your boys. Next game is the Texans and the Bengals. Shout out to the Texans, man.
Yeah, just like the Broncos.
Shout out to the Texans, man.
The Texans are making a name for themselves, mostly because of C.J. Stroud. He did have an interception, but as we know, this man has had multiple games without an interception, so it's allowed. And he has multiple games with a lot of touchdowns, multiple yards. So yes.
And I'm gonna go ahead and address this because I'm gonna address what you had said earlier about the one interception a game. Yes, if you average that's something you need to be cleaning up. But I'm not mad if you throw an interception. I'm mad if you're throwing, like you said, consistently interceptions and you're making decisions that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, why would you throw that type of interceptions? Like, like those interceptions, like, come on, bro. He wasn't open at all. That was just a panic throw over there.
Yeah.
I can see that. And then some interceptions we can justify like, okay, receiver should have caught that. But this guy, your quarterback, C.J. Stroud, he is changing that organization where we had forgot about Deshaun Watson. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. We have forgot about him. This man is a rookie. Not only he already clear-cut going to be the rookie of the year. I agree with people. He's in a running for MVP. If he plays like that and get this team to the playoffs, whether they win the Super Bowl or not, I think he gets MVP. Yeah. And that coach gets coach of the year. Because you got to think about what what that organization was going through and what they done turned around.
Yeah. And they've turned it around with only a quarterback.
They
don't have
and a coach.
Basically, and a coach. They don't have anything else on that team.
They don't. And that's good. I like that. That's what you call good coaching.
They've highlighted receivers.
Facts.
Right? You didn't know who Howard was. You didn't know what
Nico Collins. You don't know Tank Dell. You don't know these people.
You didn't know them, but you know them now.
That's how you know a good coach because let's just call it NFL, you got to be good enough to make it to the NFL. Out of, we say, thousands of players through the college. So you got to be good enough. But then we make it to these teams. These are, we're quote unquote, the best athletes that come out to play in the NFL. And as a coach, which we both agree, coaches are very important. You get these players who, like you said, the Tank Dales, the Nico, and stick them in there, and then you get a quarterback that's have a wheel and drive like CJ. You have something special.
Yeah, and we talked about this last night, actually, that, sometimes it's weird. We don't know what scouts are looking at because as normal, regular people, like the whole quarterback thing of Bryce Young going first, I saw it at the beginning. Richardson is out, so we don't know, but he was doing good too. So, I think I put him at the top, and then C.J. Stroud was right under him. And the only reason why I said C.J. Stroud was under him was just he needed to clean up his game. If he cleaned up his game, and clearly cleaned up.
Yeah.
But I'm saying what also I'm saying is that I'm not sure why it's a shock to everyone how Bryce Young is playing, because I think we kind of, even you, like we most of like the normal people, I feel like even people we talk to kind of caught it. Like he's not ready for this kind of caliber type of play right now. He needs 1 or 2 years to really get together. He should have sat behind a veteran quarterback for 1 or 2 years. He's way too small. he doesn't have leadership mentality. He's still kind of childlike. It's just like he's not ready. Now, the mechanics, they might be there, but putting it all together, he's not ready to be a leader, a quarterback in the NFL right now.
You're right. And
Period.
the piggyback on that, you had a
You
great
should have
point.
saw that. So
You had a
a
great
scout
point.
should see that. Just because he's coming from Alabama, you got to think about Alabama. Alabama has a great system. Alabama has a great coach. Alabama has a great offensive line. They got great receivers. So it's like you just do your part and you fine.
You're right in Alabama. You're right, and that's the downfall. Like we said yesterday, that's the downfall with a lot of quarterbacks that get drafted from Alabama and Ohio. We can say Ohio State too, because they're surrounded with so much talent that the quarterback position, it gets kind of in the shadows. Like, are they really a good quarterback, or are they just good facilitators to these athletes, these 5-star, 4-star athletes that they have around them? Mm-hmm. Now, in Bryce Young defense, I blame the Panthers because, like you just said,
they
the Panthers,
team, but,
they don't. But
I
still feel like you're right. The Panthers should have coached him up and built and kind of played to his strengths. You kind of play to his strengths, and I don't think they're using Bryce Young playing to his strengths. Like, and I say that to say, like, they were breaking down film of C.J. Stroud. We can get into depth of this, but they were breaking down film of C.J. Stroud, and they progressed him to what he is now. Like, they progressed him to his reads, and how he's looking off receivers and looking like he's looking off receivers like he's been in the league forever. Mm-hmm. And I think with Bryce Young coming from the system he was coming from, well, like I said, he could just hand the ball off and he could throw the ball to these 5-star athletes. Mm-hmm. I think you kind of got to do him kind of like what they're doing with Tua. You kind of got to groom him. Like, I think he can play, but you got to groom him into a quarterback. It's going to take a season or two before he gets to the point where he is now. And so, as Panthers fans, we're going to sum it up to this Panthers fan. You're just going to have to wait for that. Yeah. You're going to have to wait for that. And they should have kept Sam Darnold. He sat behind Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold messed up. Then now you got Bryce Young.
I say they pick up next. So this for next season. Or now, I don't know, whatever they want to do. I say they pick up a veteran quarterback who's like Matt Ryan or somebody like that. Yeah. Get him in there. Let him start. Matt Ryan or somebody veteran like that. Yeah. And let Bryce sit behind there. Yeah. And just let him for the rest of this season and maybe the rest of the half season, maybe next year. I'll just say maybe. Yeah. I think the whole season next year. But let's just say because he wants to play and he's the number one. So maybe half this season, half next season, have him sit behind a veteran quarterback, learn from him, learn his mechanics, all that. Teach him up, build him up, and then let's see.
True.
And Bryce, I'm sorry.
They do that. They do that.
Put on some weight.
I think
you're
they
not
do
a
that.
receiver. You gotta put some weight on.
And I think he will. But
have y'all
but they
seen
also as Panthers, they also need to address that line, offensive line.
Yeah, I mean they got lots of.
They got to address the offensive line. They got to get him a number one receiver. They got to give him a number one receiver. I like Thielen, but he's not a number one for me.
Yeah.
But
CJ Stroud don't have a number one receiver. But whatever. Anywho, Bryce, I think you still got it. You just need some time. Like I said,
that's all, man. And it just sucks because the guy who got picked right behind you is doing an extremely great job. And honestly, if Richardson was still playing, he'd probably be doing right there the same. And
the man had 5 rushing touchdowns before he even got in.
The difference is like, one, Richardson is I'll say a generational athlete because he's just a freak of nature. Like, to be that big,
but
that
also
strong.
the difference with Richardson is he uses feet more.
He do use his feet.
Uses arms.
And he could throw though.
Yeah, but he uses feet more.
He do use his feet more, and that helps him out.
Just like Lamar.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
But anyways,
let's get to next game.
Saints and Bengals. We want to say anything about Bengals? Nice try.
I would say nice try, but they're in a tight division.
But
nice try.
Think about it.
Anyway.
Saints and Vikings.
Ooh.
Josh Dobbs. Again, round of applause.
Before you say this,
just round of applause.
I'm going to ask you this question, put it on air. They was talking about it. I want to see your opinion on it. Is Josh Dobbs the quarterback for the future for the Vikings?
Not yet. Let's not. See, I'm also one who don't get too hyped just too soon.
I like how you said that because next week they got a challenge ahead of them. So I like how you said. I'm glad you put that.
Like,
I love that.
Let's fill this out a little bit more. It's like when you're dating someone, you don't just jump to a wedding. See them through all seasons. That's what I'm talking about. See them through good teams, bad weather. Like, let's see this through first before we start talking about franchise quarterbacks.
Let's see it through.
Yeah. So
I like that. I like that answer because one, they did play against a Falcons team that we know how they are. They're roller coaster.
Exactly.
And then they just played the Saints. They all just lost Carr. And then it was a roller coaster. And they did lost Carr. And you know how Winston is. And they almost, still had to play at the end. But anyway, shout out to the Vikings. I do like the fact that your guys are still persevering through injuries.
And I like that Josh Dobbs has been able to be so flexible. He has maintained his quality of play, being so flexible with new teams, new players, new coaches, new organization, new state, new everything.
He has turned himself.
That right there and enough should earn him always a spot as a QB. Now, whether he's one or two, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yes.
I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think he has earned his spot as definitely, I would say, top 3 backup quarterbacks. I'm going to say backup just because he hasn't got that starting role just yet. But there was a guy, actually, and you can fact check me on this, was Chase Daniel. He's a quarterback, but he was a glorified backup quarterback. He earned a lot of big contracts being a backup quarterback. He was a long-time backup quarterback. And Dobbs is, I would say, definitely better than him. But I think Dobbs will always have a role in the NFL.
Saints, I don't know what to say. Just pack it up.
Like I said, pack it up.
Think about next year.
I can't even say pack it up because you play in the division where you might win.
You might still be at the top. But
and they are tied. They're tied for the top of the division. So, because...
Yeah.
Right here. So Carr, we just need Carr to get healthy. Yeah. Winston, if you're going to play, man, show yourself, bro. Show yourself.
Oh, we know how.
I know, but he always, he was the same one. He was trying to advocate to get that Viking spot when Cousins went down.
Winston will always be backup.
But Winston, come on, bro. If you're going to do something. But anyway, next game, Packers Steelers. That was actually a better game than I thought.
Yeah.
That was a better game than I thought.
It was. But the Steelers still brought it home.
Coaching won that game. I think the better coach usually going to always be Mike Tomlin. And they won that game because Steelers also got a lot of injuries on defense, and they still play so lights out on defense. Like, shout out to the Steelers.
Green Bay, they pack it up. Think about it next year.
Yeah.
Tennessee and the Bucks. Bucks are still in it because they have a sorry division. Tennessee, pack it up. Try it again next year.
I like Levis, but y'all got to get him some. Y'all got to get him some offensive weapons. And I say that I just think you need another coach. Honestly, I think you need a coach. I don't think the coach is the coach for you guys. There's no way you should have a big Henry and Hopkins, and they're not even seeing the ball a lot.
I know.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there.
But
don't really care.
They're the Titans, and y'all are not gonna win the division at all. So
behind us.
Oh, and about that game, I'm sorry, we ain't even putting that.
It's all right.
But
too far gone. All right. Next
game, 49ers and Jags. 49ers showed y'all why they still the best. I think.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but this just goes to show how important Deebo Samuel is to that offense.
Yeah. I mean,
because he was hurt.
I mean, there's always someone who's important. I think people thought that Brock Purdy was the key to the offense, but he's not. He is a factor, but he's not the key.
You're right. He's good. He's smart.
And I think
he's smart.
And mark my words. I don't know. I might be wrong about this, but what I see is them moving on from Brock Purdy and trying to get a franchise quarterback. Because I don't think you franchise tag Brock Purdy.
I disagree.
Okay.
Disagree.
What do you want to say?
I mean,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Only I disagree because
brother.
All the contracts they got on that team, they can't afford no franchise. If they go out and if they pay a high profile quarterback,
maybe not soon.
But even then, I think they just pay Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy seems like he's frugal to accept the contract where he's not going to be the top paid, he's not going to be the lowest paid, but he'll expect right in the middle, and I think they'll go with that.
Yeah, but
because you got to think about
eventually.
Look at all the players they play.
I get that. That's what I'm saying. Eventually, I don't see Brock being the franchise player on the team. And I feel like once they do have a quarterback who's the franchise player, it won't be Brock.
I don't think they move on from Brock. Now,
whether they're going to do that now, tomorrow, later, but I see Brock. So Brock, of course, we know he can go either way. Better or worse. I do see him fizzling out. Just the way he plays now, it's not not very methodical. It's more systematic.
And that's the thing.
And that's what doesn't make you a franchise quarterback, though.
True, but for that system, and for Kyle Shanahan, teams. Because you look at his history of Kyle Shanahan.
I'm not saying they're going tanking or nothing.
No. They're going to be
if you
good.
Had hopes
they
for
may
Brock
even make
Purdy
it
being the franchise tag quarterback, this great quarterback that's going to be there forever.
They'll be in the NFC Championship. They'll still be in the NFC Championship. Brock Purdy still, and you keep that together, and you're already paying Brock Purdy a penny to a dollar.
I mean, they're going to eventually have to pay the man, but
I feel like
see.
it just depends.
We got enough seasons. Y'all keep it here.
Yeah.
It might not be next season. It might not be season after that. But I'm just seeing into the future.
Yeah, they're going to make some shake because I feel like at some point you're like, dang, we're getting here, but we're not making it past the big game, So,
right. All right.
But we'll see.
Jaguars, don't know what happened.
Jaguars.
I mean, just dominated by the defense, so that's what that is.
I think that was. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
But keep losing, Jags. Keep losing.
Yeah, that was horrible. But.
All right, Browns and the Ravens. That was a good game.
I like what Oh, go. Well, you want to talk about Watson?
Okay. Well, you was gonna go to Baltimore first.
I was gonna do Baltimore.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I like what Shannon Sharp said about this, and I'm quoting but not quoting. So quote unquote, it's the fact that now that they're losing, you see when they lose, we're not even shining the fact that, like you always say, Lamar Jackson turns the ball over a lot.
Mm.
They win this game, he don't throw that pick six at the end.
Mm.
He don't fumble the ball.
Mm.
He has so many turnovers that we're overlooking because of what? They're winning. When they win, we don't talk about his turnover. Mm-hmm. But he makes a lot of turnover. And the problem with the Ravens is this is
interesting coming from this man right here.
It is.
Every week he talk about how great Lamar is.
And I think Lamar is a great quarterback. He's still a great quarterback. But it's some things that I feel he needs to tighten up on. And it's the turnover. It's the carelessness with the ball. You look at the games, he fumbling ball. You're like, come on. Why are we fumbling?
Yeah.
In games like this, division games where they locked up, it's really tight. You can't have those type of turnovers at all. Yeah. You can't throw a pick six towards the end of the game to let them come back and tie the game. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, get close in the game. Come on. We can't do that if you're trying to win and it's like, yeah, if they win, we don't say nothing about it. Oh, Lamar Jackson done it, and I get it. But at the end of the day, you can't do that against no good teams. When you get to the playoffs, you can't do that.
Never been too sweet on Lamar Jackson.
I know.
I don't say that I'm not saying he's trash. He's not my fave.
He just, like I said, he tightened up on just a. It ain't
I like
even that
someone
it's bad.
who's a little bit more sharper with their playing. He's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, he's
a scrambler.
He don't know
which
what
works,
he's going to get.
But hey. Shout out to Deshaun Watson for making it happen for his team. I think this is the best I've seen him play since he's been back.
And it's funny, he only got to play that good just for them to win because their defense is so good.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is good. They got a good running game. They got a good receiver. Mm-hmm. All he got to do is not turn the ball over, and team will go far.
Make throws, yeah. So
it's unfortunate that we forget that they had one of the best running backs go down, man.
I know it is unfortunate, but they happen so early. That's why we not, But
if you think about it, you had him. Whew, they'd be really dangerous.
Yeah. So I guess the Browns are not in this sense of, oh my God, did we make a mistake? Because it's still developing for you guys.
I will say this. That division as a whole is a very tough division. And it looks that it possibly all four teams could make the playoffs. And honestly, if I'm any team, I wouldn't want to face none of them teams in the playoffs because that defense is up there and playing up there in the cold. I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that was that. That was actually a good game if y'all tuned into that.
Falcons and the Cardinals.
I'm just going to give a little clap to Kyler Murray. For you to not to play for a year and some change, to come out there and and play like you did.
To get a win.
Yeah. You laid it out.
I was actually kind of scared every time he was running. I was
Me too. But he did his he did his thing with what
taking
he had.
Hits and stuff. I'm like, all right.
He would run around like that's why I like him. He do. He's so unorthodox. You don't know what you're going to get, but I will say, as a defense player, I would hate me running around that little joker like, bro, come here. Yeah. But you can't tell the little tail.
They got rid of Dobbs, and Dobbs went to the Vikings and won his last 2 games, I believe. And then Murray came back because Dobbs didn't win but 1 game with the Cardinals. And then Murray comes back. He wins the first game. He comes back. So I think everyone in that trade and organization is happy. The Vikings are happy who they got, and I think the Cardinals are happy to have Murray back.
I think so. And I think if I'm Cardinals moving forward, I'm definitely keeping Murray, even though I'm possibly could have a high pick to get one of these quarterbacks coming out, but I'm keeping Murray.
Yeah.
I don't think these quarterbacks coming out are better than Murray, so you might as well just keep Murray, just build around Murray.
Okay.
So
Falcons,
you know what you need? You need two things: coach, quarterback. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's all we need to say: coach, quarterback. I think y'all outplayed each
other. If I
other.
was y'all, I would be asking for Matt Ryan back,
Right.
but. A lot of you guys in the Falcons have strong feelings about Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
but they can't be more stronger than Heineke and Ritter.
They bench Heineke again. They bench Heineke to get Ritter back in.
Which Ritter did get a touchdown.
Yeah.
But still, it was just like,
and honestly,
y'all don't know what you're going to do. The same thing, you switching quarterbacks just like they switching running backs. It's just a mess.
And food for thought for everybody. All you fantasy people who got Bijan, just put him on the bench. And it's good that what Arthur Smith is doing by preserving Bijan, because hopefully he's not there next year, and at least Bijan has some fresh legs for next year, because this here, y'all ain't winning nothing with this type of team.
But their division, sorry. So
yeah, you still have a chance to make the playoffs, but oh my God, y'all got to tighten up. And them quarterbacks, y'all got to play better.
Lions and Chargers, that was another good game.
Really good game.
High scoring game.
High scoring.
You got whipstick throwing quarterbacks.
Yes.
It was a shootout.
Yes. It come down to who had that last possession.
Yeah.
They couldn't stop each other.
Detroit had the last possession.
Yeah. And I know I give Chargers a lot of slack a lot of heat because they are in our division, but I can't. That Herbert and Eckler and Keenan Allen combo, man, please. That is hard.
It is nice, but they also need to do better because their record should be way better than for what the team they have.
Is true.
And so
they may make changes. I think they're gonna make changes around the coaching, just because I think that coach been there like 4 or 5 years. I think 3 or 4 years. But with that team, you're right. You should be dominating, or at least up there with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I'm a Broncos fan saying that. So.
All right. Giants and Cowboys.
Throw the whole organization away.
And Cowboys, calm down.
Calm down. Calm down. Back down.
And no, Dak is not going to be one of the top quarterbacks.
Dak,
he's not going. He don't need MVP.
True. I'm not going to go in here and say Dak is, bash Dak.
No, I definitely would never say Dak is trash.
He's not trash. He's definitely playing.
He's not top 3.
And the Cowboys are beating the teams they're supposed to beat. But I wouldn't glorify this win as it's like, oh yeah, we Cowboys is all this. You beat the Giants, bro. You beat a dude named DeVito as your quarterback, who on air said he still stay at his mom. His mom make his bed. Like, come on.
I mean, he's a newbie.
Yes, exactly. You should have lost to nobody who's a newbie.
Yeah.
So
he should have played like that.
But Cowboys, good game. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb.
I think it's a false sense of dominance over there with the quarterback, with the receivers, with the defense. But you will be exposed. Y'all will be exposed.
And what's crazy is it's a sad stat. The games they won, all the teams they beat were below 500, meaning they beat the sorry teams. When they played against a good team, that's why they got the 3 losses.
Yep.
Those 3 losses come from good teams. So let's just say this. The Eagles are in your division.
False sense of dominance, like I said.
The Eagles are in your division. So. That's the team you got to go through. So, all right.
Next, Washington and Seattle. Seattle always is the same. They won. But like I said, this is why I don't pick Seattle. Because, they won, but barely. They should be dominating Washington. They barely won.
Are y'all preserving your...
And what's going on with Geno?
I think... Let's just...
Is it a Seattle curse?
No, it's not a Seattle curse. Let's just think a little bit outside the box when I'm thinking what's happening. Because for them to have this much talent on a team and playing like they playing, I think what they're doing is just playing... You know how you can... play 50% and still win. I think that's what they're doing. They're just waiting for the playoffs, and then they're gonna play hard. They're gonna be tough.
Yeah,
because ain't no way you should be 3 points better than the Commanders.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying it's like when they do win, it's like they skate by the win.
Yes, and you should have beat them the brace off them. But shout out to Commanders, I guess, for keeping it close. I don't know what y'all got going on up there, but yeah.
Jets and Raiders.
Jets and Raiders.
Thanks, Raiders, for doing what you need to do, because that gave me a win as well. Jets, guess you lost your momentum?
Well, they made it tough for themselves, because now I think the Jets play the Bills next week, and the winner of that game will go jump into third or something because right now they're tied.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
The Bills.
So it's you needed that game, Jets. You needed that game.
That would have been an easier.
That would have been an easier win. Yeah. That would have set you up a little bit better. But
Raiders, calm down.
I would say calm down too, Raiders, because y'all beat the two opponents y'all beat were trash opponents. But if I want to highlight, give you some positive, because I don't want to be just shooting down my opponents in my division. I like your little swag you got. I love the little coach. I love Pierce. He giving you a little swag.
Yeah, I think you guys.
Compton, like
it's the new. It's the newness, like.
Yeah, like.
Luck. It's the newness luck or something. Like, when things are new, players are new.
Yeah.
Players have more.
It's like they can breathe.
A new vibe.
Yeah,
they have
the
more vibrance. But let's just see it through.
Yeah.
Let's see it through, my boy.
Yeah.
Let's see it through.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because y'all are winning, but y'all really think O'Connell's going to get y'all over to the promised land? Definitely not. Exactly. So.
And
the game of all games.
The game of the week.
I had our house rocking. That
if the houses are rocking, don't come a knocking.
I like that. That's gonna be. I'm gonna put that on my cave. Broncos, great job. I'm talking about my Broncos first. Great job.
First of all,
I would say go ahead.
Great job or good luck?
No, it was lucky plays, but I would say great job because I'm thinking
pressure?
Of how we played to how we played before to how we playing now. And I'm looking at it from both sides of the ball. The defense, definitely a 180. Defense are actually, they're playing.
A lot of pressure, yeah.
They're making a little bit more pressure. They didn't get to Josh Allen a lot last night, but they hurried him. Mm-hmm. And it was more the secondary that I like. Secondary was flying, and they was making some tackles. Yep. And they're not just tackling, they're going for turnovers. Yep. That's what I like.
Yeah, I did like that. The
turnovers. You could tell they're working on that.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of more tomahawk chopping and stripping.
Going up for the ball.
Yes. So defense, great. Defense is great. Offense is still a lot of things.
Still need some work.
Yes. Penalties. I'm gonna start with penalties.
Yeah. Oh God,
bro. One, you're already struggling. The penalties is only hurting you more. Two, running backs. Run with your eyes open. I don't know what you're doing. Y'all are big backs. You have two
and
backs.
they all do that. You usually have one that runs behind their man all the time, or one that's trying to find that little bitty hole that always collapse. And then there's always one that's a break off one, but we don't know who that is on the Broncos because they're all
they're falling over their feet and they're falling back. I like Javonte Williams, but it seemed
maybe
like
it's the plays, I guess.
His first step, he has to get going before he give you that punishing at the end. Mm-hmm. I'm not knocking him because yes, Buffalo has a good run defense, but if we're gonna be a running team, y'all gotta tighten up. I'm talking about all three of y'all. P-Run, Williams, and
McLaughlin, yeah.
That's running back. The receivers. Cortland Sutton.
Good job.
Flowers, bro.
Good job. You caught some balls that you shouldn't even call because they were kind of bad throws. But you caught them.
You did.
You went out there. You stretched them arms.
Now that's luck.
I will say tippy-toed them toes.
You're right. I don't say if it's luck or skill, but it looked more.
Skill on Sutton.
It was skill on Sutton.
Yeah.
Luck
on Russell.
Russell, I
think he got it in the area.
Yes.
But Sutton came up and made that grab.
But I can't blame Russell on none of them throws because, goodness, my line, bro. Yeah. What are you doing? He literally play action, and it's a man in his face.
Well, sometimes he had time.
He did, and it was some throws like, okay, a little air ball. But if as a whole, I do like the improvement. I do think it's a lot of things you can tighten up on. The things that's immediate you can change is these penalties. Mm-hmm. You got to stop penalties and time management.
Y'all got pushed back so much.
And then to be on third downs, like, why are you holding, bro?
And your kicker, make the doggone kick.
What are we doing?
You got to make the extra point kick. I mean, I guess you made the kick at the end that mattered, but you missed it at first.
Which is luck.
So
let's call it. That's luck.
Because you
missed it.
Because that was 12 man.
Yes, that was luck.
I guess Bills can't count either. So let's not just blame Josh Allen. Because then y'all can't count. And all those turnovers were not on Allen. You know, there's one receiver. He should have caught that ball. Going with this. The other running back. They did it.
You're right. And
not every single one. He did have some legit turnovers, but some of them were not his fault.
All day, they've been bashing on Josh Allen, which I get it.
Well, because he's been consistently throwing.
He has. And I think what Josh Allen is, maybe this changed because they did fire the OC. But I think with Josh Allen, he's too far in his head than just playing the game. Bro, you are a freak of nature. You're like 6'5", 240, can run the 4.5.
He don't run enough.
Thank you.
Like he used to.
Run and slide.
I mean, he shouldn't have to, but he used to run a lot more. I don't know what happened.
You're right, but it's little things. Like he had a fumble where he dropped the ball. Why are you? Come on. That's little stuff. Little stuff. You had a turnover. You throwing the ball into a spot where, dude, that's why I got picked off, because you're throwing it to us. Like it was that dude was not open at all.
Yeah.
Then you threw a freaking 90-mile-per-hour fastball down the middle, which your receiver should have caught.
They should have
caught, but it tipped off his hands. So it's a lot of little stuff, but I do agree with you. It's some internal stuff going on there. That Diggs and him, they keep playing this act of, oh, we okay? No. And funny because your brother just outed you.
Yes.
Your brother just said you need to get up out of there. Meaning you was talking to him, meaning you've been talking. You need to get out. Y'all got problems. It is leaking.
Yeah.
It's leaking.
And you guys were just told to hush up and try to get along. And it's okay. That's how you, if you try to get along, that's how you handle it. That's a mature thing to do. But it's not working, it seems like.
Y'all didn't handle it right. Because usually you handle it like, man, you're going to address the situation, talk about it, and we're going to see how we can move forward. Y'all not doing that. Mm-hmm. Because yesterday, I don't even think he targeted him, but 2-3 times. And that's the best.
I don't know. But yeah.
I thought, okay. But, yeah, Buffalo, pack it up. You're done. See what y'all can do for next year.
They might need to go ahead and break that up.
I think one of them need to go.
Yeah.
And at this point, I know you're going to keep Allen, so let Diggs go and see if you can get some good picks.
Where do you think Diggs should go? Come to the Texans.
Texans be great, but I think Diggs is in a position he wants to win. And honestly, it seemed like him and his brother, I can see him going to the Star. I'm sorry. I can see him going to the Star. I'm sorry. I hate
money
it too.
To get him.
I think he would
CeeDee
go
Lamb?
there.
Oh my gosh,
he
no
would
way.
go there.
But he'd be done because they're not winning nothing.
I think he would take a pay cut to go there.
They're not winning though.
True, but you think of all the good teams. The only good team that he can go to that will pay him, if he's trying to get paid, is the Chiefs.
Then they need him.
But are they going to pay him the money he was?
I'm sure they could. They should have it.
Well, you're right. But yeah, you're right. Anyway,
I can see him going to the Chiefs.
I can see them going to the Chiefs.
Didn't they just try to get somebody good?
But that's what I'm saying. They didn't pay D-Hop, but they felt D-Hop was on his decline more than paying him as a prime receiver.
Diggs is not. I think they would pay for Diggs.
Yeah, if he on the market, there's a lot of teams gonna go after him. Mm-hmm. But teams like you said, I think the Chiefs would be the best fit for him because
that's where he will win.
He'll win, and he could even he can solidify. He can be a Hall of Fame type receiver and go there. You know?
Yeah, and that should make you highly upset because that means the Chiefs are never gonna not lose.
True, but I'm already in. I think Chiefs gonna make some moves. Maybe
Diggs go to the Broncos. He ain't gonna do that because it's like that would be like going,
that's what I'm saying.
That would be regressing.
It wouldn't. Don't do my. I wouldn't say regressing, but let's just be honest. I know he want to go to a team that's gonna win, and how our offense set up, we're not gonna feed him the ball like he wants. He go to Chiefs.
Yeah,
they're gonna feed him the ball because Mahomes throw it about 40 times, and he only throw it to Kelsey.
Yep.
You know, you go to Kelsey and Diggs to split that. Come on, man. And then you got Buddy coming out the backfield.
Yeah. And on that note,
so
that's the games of the week.
True. That is the games of the week. We won. We got. I only know this because I keep my Broncos, but we play the Vikings next week. Mm-hmm. We're gonna shut this Dobb noise up. I'm saying it here. Yeah, I'm talking smack to all you Viking fans. I'm talking smack. I like Dobbs. Shout out to Dobbs though, but you coming out to Denver,
I will say Broncos should win.
We should, but they even found them a little running back. So little Ty Chandler, because Madison got hurt. Ty Chandler, he came in there and did his thing too. So Vikings are.
Yeah. So all I will say is good week.
Good week.
Way to go Broncos. Way to go Texans. Way to go me. Because I'm on the leaderboard now.
Here she go.
You was giving me praise.
No, I love it. That keeps me. Now I got to go back to the drawing board and see if I can reclaim the victories.
Yeah, you got to put your winning cap on, man.
But stay tuned with us. This is building up. We coming up on week 11.
Next week we are traveling.
Yeah,
we will figure out how we will bring you the picks and the recap.
Yeah, we will
during
figure
the
it
holiday
out.
season. Holiday
Season. Some good games coming on Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but we will still bring you.
We will.
We'll still bring you all the goods.
We'll give you.
Okay?
We're gonna give you these picks for next week,
Mm-hmm.
and we should be able to get the recap. But we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
we're gonna figure it out.
All right. Until next time, guys. Peace.